focal point of that?
I think it started with the podcast. We used to get a lot of people asking us about our relationship, so we did a podcast. And from the podcast, we realized that some people are in the podcast, some people are not. And people wanted to understand how. And not only with the podcast, we wanted to explain the story, but we wanted to break down different ways to look at different things. So whether it's questions, if that we have like a top 25 questions you should ask before you get married, or we talk about raising our kids and having a mission statement, things that we can talk and put into writing that people will understand. And we would always get the question, how? So we figured if we did a book, it would explain how, and that way it would almost be like a manual that people can have that would hopefully outlive us and outlive our kids, so that hopefully it can help and be a start of these types of conversations that are difficult usually to have.
I tell people to read it with a highlighter. Yeah, because like you said, we have a part that's called the family mission statement, because our family has a mission statement where, we decide as a family, my husband, myself, my 6 children, who we want to be as a family, what we want to represent, what values and morals we instill in our children, the fact that we move as a unit, the fact that no matter what, we always have each other's back, the fact that we're rooted in respect, non-judgment. My kids can tell me anything without fear of disappointment, even if what they did was disappointing. We have like a no fear type household. So we deliberately wrote a mission statement. And if we talk about it, say on the podcast, unless you want to go back to a podcast to regain that information, like, oh, what did she say? Or how did they do that? Or what's their mission statement? You don't really have it, but if you have a book, a chapter, a page, you highlighted it, you can use it as a reference point. You can go back, like, what are those tips and cues as far as, coming up with this family mission statement? And for us, it's very, very important because our children move deliberately because it was poured into them. They have taken the time out, they sat down, they understand. And it's not like, all right, this is a mission statement, go out there and get them, guys. We live it, we exemplify it. When they don't honor the mission statement, we talk about it. Like, it's all in the sense of family, because that's the most important thing to us. So yes, we did want to have a tangible resource. For me, part of the reason, there's a lot of reasons why I wanted to write the book, but part of the reason is because there's a lot of things that I just see amongst people in society and relationships that just bother me. And I live my life the opposite of those things that bother me. Like there's a section there about what I call mind bleeping. I'm not a big cursor, so you should know what the bleep stands for. But it speaks to men and women, but if I'm being honest, more so women, that fall into a space where they don't trust their own intuition. Your intuition is God-given, and it's instilled in us to let us know when something is dangerous, when it's not right, when someone is lying to us, etc. And it bothers me when I see people, particularly women, ignoring their own intuition when they know that it's speaking to them and when they know that it's right. My father used to say, so what, are you going to believe me or your lying eyes? And I've had friends that would be like, I believe you. I don't know why these eyes would lie to me. I don't know. Like, it's just, they don't trust themselves, and they'll let a man make them feel as though they're crazy, or as though they didn't see something that they saw, or that, oh, you're just imagining that, or the famous, oh, it's all in your head, or you just like to argue. Oh, I think you just like to be upset. Those type of things infuriate me. So there is a whole section on the mind bleep where I felt as though my thoughts needed to be put into words. They needed to be articulated so that people, because women mind bleep too, I may have done it in the past, time to time. He's certainly attempted. You know what I mean? It's something that we've gone through. Do you know what I mean? Yes. So, and I would sit there literally infuriated, and I would have to say, like, based on my intuition, like, I don't have to prove that you're wrong. I know that you're wrong. So you can pull out all the tricks in the book. My mind, my sensibilities is telling me this is BS. So do with that what you will. And we're just going to carry on. And I wrote the book, to answer your question,
so you see whose chapters are longer and whose chapters
to kind of empower people, not just women, but people, when certain things happen in their lives. That's one of them. Rashawn, one of the ones that are important to him is something called right fighting, which is something that we both did in the relationship, which means that you enter an argument or a disagreement